better shake your booties for black girl nerds. Thank you for your time, Taylour. You look so beautiful. Thank you so much for
Thank you
chatting
so
with me
much.
today.
You look so beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
I've enjoyed your work. I loved the show that you were on VH1. That was such a cool show. I was into it. So to see you now from that and how your career is going in a whole nother arc is very inspiring and very, very impressive.
Thank you very much.
You are on a really, really terrific role right now with some terrific projects that you've been a part of. How do you feel about this point in your career and what you've achieved over the last couple years?
I feel really thankful and I don't take it for granted. I just think, I try not to get caught up in it. Overall, I want to tell good stories. I want to expand as a soul. I want to live a colorful life, and I want my work to reflect that. And I just think I've recently given myself the gift of not rushing. Like, there's nowhere to get, there's no rush, like beautiful things take time. And I just want to live a life and a legacy of integrity. So I'll wait till it feels right and it resonates. And that's kind of what's just kept me hopeful and not, stressed by what people perceive me to be, or that I don't, that I haven't been doing anything, or whatever.
Absolutely. When I think about this and you stepping into the role and what the film is based on, a series of tweets, something very non-traditional, it's very trailblazing to even see a project like this come to fruition.
Yeah.
Would you say your path echoes that in the non-traditional path? Do you think your path into just acting in general was traditional?
Yeah, I think it is kind of non-traditional. I think that, most interesting things are, it's not linear. And I got on a show at 21, but that's not just like, oh, you made it now. Like, you have work to do and life experiences. And again, like, there's no rush. And I think that when I left the show, I have always, since I started this, there was always something in me that I was always, I think even from young, I was always being called to take my empathy and my capacity for understanding into something. And when I would feel like, okay, I feel like I'm getting itchy, like I'm outgrowing this, like I've kind of followed that. And but it's not like, oh, I got on a show and then like all of a sudden I was some movie star or I made millions of dollars. Like I I've surrendered to my circumstances and been very much like, this is my curriculum, and this is interesting. It's interesting because I'm interested, and because I want to grow, and I want to be good, and I want to be better, and I want to reflect true life experiences. And so it's all over the place. And I hope it will always be that way, because at the end of my life, I just hope it was really colorful. All kinds of strokes and messies and circles and swirlies, and it's like, it'll just be this big masterpiece.
Truly a fulfilled life, however anyone determines it, is that way. It's never going to be a straight line for anyone, right, no matter what you do. And there's the inspiration to take into that and to land here and in a role that takes you into embodying a person who is a real living, breathing person, which, right, presents its own challenges. When the role was presented to you, how was it presented to you? Was it just as simple as like, well, hey, we got this script, it was based on this? Did you remember the tweets? How was it presented to you?
Yeah, it kind of was. It was I got an audition for it. It was originally written by, I felt it was quite sexist and racist. It was written by two white guys at the time. And my agent was like, doing the agent thing where she's like, come on, we don't know what's going to happen with white boy Rick. Like, you need this, and we'll cross the bridge when we get there. And I'm like, I just don't know why we need this story. It also just didn't feel truthfully like her voice that I read in those tweets. And then the project went away. And then divinely, I was auditioning for Hustlers. And Hustlers, like, the characters didn't resonate with me. And something just sparked it reminded me about Zola. And I asked my agent, she's like, well, actually it's different director, different writer. It's different. I'm like, well, that's kind of interesting. That would keep me intrigued. Like, it's different now. And so, yeah, I put it on tape again. And then I got called in twice. And right when I found out I was going in, I hit up Zola to get her blessing. And I said, I just think you're so powerful, and I'm playing you, and I just think you're fucking like you're just brilliant. And she's like, you've had a stand in me since day one. Like, you're so me, it hurts. Like, I saw your tape. Like, I'm not taking no for an answer. And I felt very divinely and literally supported. So kind of crazy.
It's beautiful when it turns out that way. Sometimes you just have
Yeah,
that kind of connection with folks and it
it
just
flows.
works out and the
Yeah,
universe conspires.
exactly.
When you Zola is a fearless woman, as you just mentioned. I mean, it takes a certain bravery to be in these kind of circumstances and still keep that calm, kind of a cool head, and that ability to rationalize a plan and a method. And it just takes a lot of fearlessness. Is that a fair assessment of who she is and
Yeah,
what this journey will be like for the audience to see her go on?
for sure. I think I look at it as like symbolically just like the heart and brains of the Black woman, and how like you get in situations and you assume responsibility because we're such natural nurturers and caretakers and fixers and doers, and like kind of carrying the world on our backs. And uh I think yeah, I mean, it is a matter of strategy and survival, and just being in a situation that's like really traumatic, really daunting, and but also like finding humor and hope in it.
Mhm. It's funny how this timed out. Sometimes it seems like projects are released in a certain order, like we're building Taylor to this point. That's why all these movies are coming out at the same time. And sometimes they are out of order and you're working on projects. Maybe you
Exactly.
did one 2 years ago and they kind of land together. What was the timing with
Yeah.
this film and with Ma Rainey?
Yeah, I shot Zola in October of 2018. I found out I got Zola in June, like late May of 2018. So I mean, really, like May of 2018, we're in 2021, right? So I've been like sitting on this for a while. And then
Mhm.
I didn't book Ma Rainey till June of 2019. So that was like almost 6 months after shooting Zola. So back to you do this thing and you're like hoping it'll come out and it'll get more work, but then it's not coming out, and you're back, you're just waiting for something to stick and waiting just to have some consistency and keeping at it. And I had moments where I was just like, gosh, is this ever going to happen? And like, I suck, and all those things. But I do think that timing is everything, and knowing oneself and doing the work. And like, it's like, there is no, all, it's all leading you back to yourself. It's all really between you and you, and like worthiness. And I think now I just like, I don't rush. Like I said that already. Like, I'm not in any rush. I just want to like flow and be gentle and light about it.
In the process of those intersections with these projects, and just kind of almost like the universe conspiring, do you think there was a moment in there, a specific moment where you came to that conclusion, like I'm just going to let go, let God, let the universe
Yeah.
dictate
Oh,
my
that's
path?
all. That's how
And
I live. I mean, I don't know what I'd do without that mentality, because it's obviously I chose to be in a really chaotic, high anxiety, inconsistent, unreliable, and I'm a Black woman. So the roles, what things that I'm interested in don't always come, or people don't see you as a blank canvas that could even play that thing that you're interested in. Um, but yeah, I mean, look, when I was waiting to shoot Zola, it kept getting pushed. So it was supposed to shoot in June, then it was going to be July, then it was August, then it was September. But I think as I was chopping the wood and waiting for it to go, I was getting to know myself better and my strengths. And like, I knew I had to be a certain kind of unapologetic to play and step into her. Cause she's just, she's the ascended version of me, the Taylour that doesn't apologize for her space and knows her worth and her value and how to assert herself and having boundaries. I'm a recovering people pleaser. So you take all of it. I think all of it is your curriculum, all of your experiences, all relationships, all breakups, all school, all of it. And hopefully you serve yourself, getting to know yourself better, and then you serve others and what they feel resonates in what you play, I think.
Mhm. That's interesting that you mentioned that about being a people pleaser, because I think about that in myself in this industry. You have to be, just I'm
Yeah.
ready. I'm
Yeah.
here for everything. And you can lose yourself within
Oh
that.
yeah. Yeah.
And it's very brave, especially as a Black woman, to
Thank
say, I'm
you.
going to step into that as myself. And if I don't like it, I don't like it, because so many times the industry tells Black women they can't do that.
That's right. And it's like so much of like now I ask myself, like, how would I act if I knew I couldn't lose? Like, what does that really look like?
Mhm.
If I knew I couldn't lose, I wouldn't be in a rush. I wouldn't be stressed about losing that job, or not getting it because like, and by the way, the jobs that you don't get, like most of the things I haven't gotten, I end up understanding why really fast. And to be honest, I go, that was someone else's prayer. It's all a prayer, and there's enough to go around. So I'm just going to
Amen.
keep doing my work, loving myself, loving those around me. All contrast creates clarity to get back to those things and just see like what fate and my choices, what kind of dance they can do. And just, like I try not to get so caught up in just in the like, I don't know, the silliness of it all. Like why you got here to this planet and you were worthy. And then your parents and people and bullies and all the bullshit got in you, and somehow you lost your way. And it's like we're all just like trying to get home. It's really interesting, We come
Mhm.
here with the magic, and then we live in this society that does everything it can to give you amnesia. And
Mhm.
that's probably why I find acting so intoxicating. And it's probably I've had to balance what's unhealthy about it, because yeah, you can get into this place where you need so much outward validation. And I have found that in the last year or so, maybe the last 4 years, is just like me validating from the inside out. Like, is my soul ready for this? What can I learn from this? Am I ready for this? Like, am I available to this? And operating from that place.
I love the way you think. I love the way you think. There are a
Thank
lot of
you.
gems that I can take from everything that you just said. So I
Thank
thank
you.
you for all that.
Thank you.
I appreciate your time. You are a wonderful young
Thank
woman.
you.
I enjoy
As are
watching the
you.
spectrum of your career, and I appreciate your time greatly. And I'm very excited to see what's going to happen for you.
Thank you so much. I look forward to talking to you again. Peace and
I
blessings.
know.
Till
Me too.
then.
Take care.
Bye.
Thank you.
Better shake your booties for black girl nerves. Better shake your booties for black girl nerves.